All right, let's break down Everlane. Today I'm breaking down their entire funnel and auditing it. This is sort of a partnership I'm doing with Antonio. So check out his content. He makes some really cool funnel breakdowns, and he was the one who sort of analyzed a lot of the top of funnel stuff. So we'll be walking through all of this in a second. We started with their traffic and ended all the way at I bought some of their jeans, went through the unboxing, went through their post purchase flows and their newsletters. So you're going to see the entire funnel here. As always, though, I do like to start off with just a quick audit of what's going on with Everlane, analyzing their traffic a bit and some of the key stats and apps that they're using. So I'll start there. So first off, they're doing about 5 million visits a month, which is pretty good. That is a sizable amount of traffic. Um, like I recently reviewed Skims, and I think they're the only site I've seen that's doing more. Partly just because of the celebrity behind Kim Kardashian, but that's a lot of traffic. That's definitely more than a lot of stores I see making. A lot of their traffic comes from the U.S. Bounce rate's pretty low. Um, it's mostly organic, but they are doing a lot of paid. Um, Something I found interesting was one of their top pages was actually their stores, and this is something that uh, they're trying to push. I think this is eventually with a lot of these D2C brands. I guess like once you hit scale, um, you got to find other channels, and with Everlane, they are trying to launch physical retail stores, and they have I think 12. So we'll sort of unpack that. Their second top page is their women's jeans page. A lot of their pay per click words are just their brand names like Everlane, but they are doing some stuff like they are competing against competitors like Madwell. They'll show up. Organic keywords are their brand and also the denim jeans. Their top inbound link is Narvar, which I found interesting. I'm gonna dive into that, and then I've outlined. I've given you the links to all their sort of social media here. But yeah, let's just dive into this a little bit deeper. So again, I use SimilarWeb and Uber suggests free to look at to really look at this. You can pay for more advanced features, but you know, you could see 5 million. It spiked in November. I'm just going to attribute this to Black Friday. But it seems like consistently doing 5 million. United States, if you look at their traffic, like a lot of it's coming in through direct and organic, but then they do have a lot of paid search. Um, and I think like if you just search like Everlane, oh, not Everlane.com, Everlane, they're doing a lot of paid search up here, a lot of sponsored ads. Um, Everlane denim jeans. Let's see what pulls up there. That's a top keyword. As you can see, like this is probably where they're putting a lot of their budget in these Google Shopping ads right here too. So I would suspect that's where a lot of that traffic is coming from. The paid search. They do displayed ads. They do referrals. They do social. You can see their organic search terms. It's mostly brand. It really all starts with brand. Everlane this, Everlane that, Everlane, and you can see it is over 51% of their search comes from branded keywords. But you can see, like I said, Madwell, Arteza, they are doing some like a little bit more past brand. What I found interesting though, so Narvar is it's like an order tracking software, similar like Wondermint or Aftership. So, and I broke down all of these emails later because I placed the order. So we'll be seeing this later in the funnel, but a lot of people are clicking on those emails. So, and I think they do a very interesting job there. So we'll be talking about that. Uh, and yeah, I mean, like, another thing that I found really interesting that's a little bit different. is their social traffic. Most of it comes from Reddit. They do a lot on Facebook. They do a lot on Pinterest. Not a lot of TikTok. So my hunch is it's a little bit of an older audience. It skews female, but it's coming from Reddit, which is mostly a male sort of. Well, it skews mostly male, but I do think that like if you just search Everlane Reddit, like what's coming up here, um, and I think they are getting a lot of traffic from these subreddits like ethical fashion. We're going to dive into that. That is like very part of their mission, and they do a really good job sort of surfacing that and propagating that throughout their funnel. Female fashion advice or male fashion advice, that's how I originally found out about them. So I think that they are driving a lot of they're getting a lot of traffic. I don't know if they're even really, this is sort of organic traffic coming in from users. But they are getting a lot of traffic from these subreddits still in 2024, which is cool to see. Let's dive deep in more into the bottom of funnel and retention. So, if you go to their site, and I'm going to go in private browsing, they do have a pop-up that appears. Let's see if I can get it to pop up here. Hold on, let me kill my, that's because I have another tab open. All right. They do have a pop-up that pops up on the homepage here. So they are sort of doing opt-in real quick. And sure, let's go to men's sellers. So they're really only doing SMS opt-in for that. And then they do have an opt-in down here for 10% off for email. And I know they're using Attentive. So my hunch is on that pop-up, it's a single opt-in pop-up that basically they opt in and then they select men's or women's, and hopefully they're collecting some zero-party data there, and they're using that to sort of nurture content with you. And I'm going to talk about their newsletters later. They weren't doing that for me, but yeah, I think that's probably ideally what they're trying to do. They're trying to get some like sort of early on understand like, do you want more female merchandise propagated to you in email, or is it more male? I didn't see a live chat. Like I said, I did see email opt-in, mobile opt-in on their top pages. I didn't see any product exit intent, cart exit intents. We did do a cart upsell. I'll walk through that with you. But no checkout exit intent. There was SMS opt-in, no one-click upsells, and yes, there was an abandoned checkout flow. I didn't see any bounce back flows. I didn't see an NPS survey. We'll get into the shipping notification emails in the funnel. And I did get some post-purchase emails, and they are sending emails pretty regularly. Their tech stack, they're using Shopify in the checkout. I'm not sure if this is headless or like their actual site, their content management system is headless, or they're using Salesforce maybe. I thought I saw that. Attentive for SMS. I'm pretty sure it's Klaviyo for email. And Narvar for shipping notifications. They might be using some other apps, but these were sort of the ones that I saw. Okay, with that said, let's dive into the actual funnel breakdown itself. So let me zoom in here. Zoom in. All right. So exit out of this. Okay. So their ads, a lot of it, sort of what I saw, their paid ads, a lot of it's coming, I think, from paid search, but they are also doing some Facebook ads. And I linked to their ad library so you can see it right here. So you can sort of go through like what they currently have live on Facebook and Instagram. but you can see Antonio broke it down. Right now, because we're doing this in January or February, it's very seasonal. It's sort of they went through this huge holiday sale or sale period, and maybe they're trying to clear out some inventory. Um, one thing that we're gonna see like that they do a lot of is the emphasis on sustainability. They do a lot of product displays, just a lot of just like straight, simple, minimal product ads. Um, they are using like authority here, like it's award winning. Their jeans are really good. I've used their jeans for years now, and they really are great jeans. Now, when they get into more like less like product display ads and more just sort of like video carousel ads, you'll see they'll use more animated split screen. It's mostly women, just because I do think that most of their revenue probably comes from women. Um, they are sort of highlighting new products too, and then they do these like branded sort of mission sort of ads as well, that I think are really cool. And we'll break down their about page and stuff like that. But yeah, you can see all of this as well because this will change. Right now, like I said, it's in January. Who knows what they'll be doing next quarter? Fashion moves pretty fast, so that's why I wanted to link it to you for you. Excuse me. All right, moving on to the homepage. So one of the cool things that they do is that I like that they do is you can sort of toggle between men and women. So that's like really key. I think that's really from early on, they're trying to like figure out where you are, like who are you shopping for, male or woman. And then as you go through it, it's a lot of just product, very clean, simple copy. And then as you scroll down, it gets into like the mission, social proof, clean fashion, stuff like that. I think one thing that they do too is when we get into the product photos, or we get into the product pages, you'll see how they break down the cost of the products too, which is really cool. And yeah, the transparent pricing. I guess they didn't have this on the homepage, but they did when we originally did this. But they will literally show you the cost of each product, which this is how Everlane originally got a lot of traction. They would show you, how much the raw materials cost, how much it costs to transport. And they would do this at like a product level too when I originally first started shopping there, which I thought was cool. The men's and the women's, it's very similar. It's the same sort of like layout. It's just the products sort of differ. But you can see it's the same layout, same mission, getting into cleaner fashion. Here I guess they have the Instagram feed instead of the transparent pricing. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure they change this and edit this a lot and are running sort of split tests all the time. Moving into the product pages, like I think this is what they really do great. And I'm gonna go through their men's jeans, but it's very similar on the women's jeans, and their jeans are their best sellers. So I think that is probably the appropriate product to break down. So first off, it's great photos, very styled photos, and very like easy to sort of navigate through, like toggling through different like colors and sizes. Clear USP badges. They get into like sort of like the actual like nitty gritty on the product a little bit here. But it's nothing like really crazy. It's nothing that you haven't seen before on other product display ads. They get into cross selling. They get into reviews, verifying the reviews, and then this is what I think is really cool. It's the transparent pricing, and it used to be, like I said, pretty sure it used to be like per product, but I guess now it's more of just like sort of a generic pricing. But but yeah, I mean, I think this, no matter what, like, you don't see anybody else doing this. I mean, this is sort of like outside of cleaner fashion, just like showing you the pricing. This was like a very clear USP and why they were different initially. So I found that like that was like how I originally found out about this brand years ago. Same thing, the women's page, like when you get into the collections pages, and I think when you're getting into stores with a lot of SKUs, and I wouldn't even say Everlane has a lot of SKUs. I've worked with clients that have, thousands of SKUs, tens of thousands sometimes. But the collection page does become very important, where like people need to sort of toggle or sort of browse through different categories, different colors, different sizes, different collections. And so I think that if you are like a fashion store or you have a lot of SKUs, like you do need to pay attention to what you're doing on the collections. Sometimes when you log into the analytics, you will see collection pages getting more and more traffic. So yeah, I mean, like they are, again, it just depends on what you're doing. But for them, like I notice a lot of times, like there's new arrivals, best sellers, sale, and then they're normally trying to fit you into like, okay, are you like clothing? Do you want sweaters? Do you want jeans? Jeans and denim are, I think they're best sellers on both men's and women's. But you'll see like once you get in to the collection, it's very high quality photography, very like simple, minimal, and at the time they have this sort of sale trying to get like people over the finish line, highlighting different collections. And then there's the footer. Let's see, let's zoom out here. Here's some other collection pages you can look at. I found this pretty cool. This is sort of, I've definitely done this on Black Friday for clients, but I guess they're doing this like, putting this like, hey, do you want to spend under $25, under $50, under $100? So sort of trying to figure out where, like what budget, or sort of qualify the traffic a little bit and point them in the right direction. So that's a cool tactic you could use if you're a e-commerce store with a large collection or a fashion brand that has a lot of SKUs. I think this is where it gets like pretty cool, getting into their sustainability, getting into their mission. I think that, not a lot of fashion brands have as strong as USP and mission as Everlane. I think like we've already talked about one where it's around the transparent pricing, but also it is this sort of like ethical fashion that they're a part of. And, like they're highlighting the grants, the designers, no new plastic. I think that one thing that's like really interesting, and I don't know if they have it on this, but what they used to have was like how, like videos on how their jeans were made, which was really cool. And just like the dyes and they use and how it's different from, like Levi's or, what some of the other leading name brand jean companies. But yeah, I mean, I think that they don't like put it in your face, but it's like, it is noticeable, this sort of like sustainability and transparent pricing that they're sort of, they sort of propagate throughout their funnel. And then as you get into the emails, you'll see that like they really highlight it too. So very clear, simple mission. We believe we can all make a difference. Our way, exceptional quality, ethical factories, radical transparency. It's a very simple mission. And, there is like mastery in that. I think it's hard to nail these things where you just sum it up in like a sentence. And to me, it's like crystal clear, like what they're about. They're about, sustainable fashion that's high quality, and you get transparent pricing, which is really, really cool. And you'll see they break it down here. Like here, yeah, they have their highlights. They show their factory. Again, like fashion is notorious for like, having like made in like sweatshops and stuff like that, where it's like we don't want to like actually reveal behind the scenes, but they're showing all of that. They show how it's made. They show how it's designed. They show, the visual chart of the transparency, and I wish they got a little bit more into the pricing here, but yeah, I mean that is like something that's very different. You don't see this on a lot of other like fashion brands, but something I really like about them is they really like highlight their mission, and they really do have a unique selling proposition that I feel like a lot of stores don't always have. So let's move into like actually getting into the funnel here. So I think once you start hitting scale, a lot of times you will see these stores like scale back, I guess, a lot of the more, I wouldn't say direct response tactics, but a lot of the tactics you might see other brands use that are smaller. So there is like a slight little cross sell here. And I played around with this, and I was getting this cross sell a lot on men's and women's. So I'm not sure like how dynamic that is. I'm wondering if this is just like a new product they're trying to push, but maybe it's, it is winter, so you might want to add a beanie. So I'm not sure like how like they're running split tests on this, but yeah, there was this sort of one little beanie upsell, cross sell, whatever you want to call it here, in the jar cart. They do a little bit of scarcity. Get it now before it sells out. So, a lot of people are used to doing like countdown timers and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan when you use scarcity for it to be like actual authentic scarcity. And I will say like there's probably some legitimacy to this. I used to be a big fan of Everlane shoes, or I'm a fan of like a certain color of their jeans. And like, for example, their shoes their trainers that I used to buy, like you can no longer buy these anymore. These ones, or maybe they have it back. I guess you could, yeah. So I used to wear these a lot. They're, so they really could sell out and never come back. So I do think that they are legitimately authentic with their scarcity. But they're also not shoving it in your face, which I think is pretty cool. And again, as you scale and you start getting bigger and more well-known, like you have to be very careful about how you use scarcity, and it really needs to you really need to be authentic if you want to like maintain your sort of brand promises. Getting into the checkout. So again, I do think they're using Shopify here with the Shop Pay, but I'm not sure if like Shopify is managing the whole content management system. It is a pretty customized checkout. It's a one-page experience. There was no cross-selling going on here. A little bit of scarcity, trying to get you to sign up for your account. And then again, like I placed a discount. I got the 15% off discount, and it was automatically applied, which was pretty cool. If you were to abandon checkout, I went through that experience as well. And what I found interesting is they went right away for the 15% off discount code. Maybe they've just split tested this, but it's a very simple abandoned checkout flow. You've got it in the bag was the subject line. And I abandoned checkout on like a t-shirt. But I did find that interesting. Sometimes like with more elevated brands, they don't always go for discounts right away. They might do a little bit of brand education, and then later on in the email, they might offer a discount code. But maybe they saw also that I have not placed, I use a different email address than my personal email address. So they might have seen that I haven't placed an order before, even though I have with my other email address. So maybe I went down a different path. But if I was a repeat customer, I might not get this, but that might be my hunch. But if you're a true prospect, this is what you would get. Subject, you've got this in the bag. And this is dynamic. So if I was probably if I had abandoned like a woman's product, it would have shown up as a woman's product with a different title. But it's very simple, very clean, sort of abandoned checkout email. I only got one of these, I think. I haven't gotten anything else. And I think this triggered like 2 hours after I abandoned. Moving into the thank you page. So this is when I think they really to me started. I saw like a real master class here and just like understanding their customer journey. Especially like the customer journey within the first 2 weeks of becoming a customer. And so first off, they thank you for your order, and I should probably like, remove my address, but they thank you for your order, but they have this made a mistake. They make it easy to cancel your order. And a lot of brands like that are just starting out are like, no, don't do that. We want to collect all the revenue that we can. We don't want to or I've seen even some brands, they add like friction into the process. A lot of like subscription brands will put a lot of friction in canceling a subscription. But I found these like really scale brands that are really trying to build a brand. They like sort of foresee the problems that their customers will have, and they just make it super, super frictionless. So I found that really interesting. They also remind customers of their return policy. Like, how many people do that on their thank you page? Not a lot, because they don't want you to return the product. So they're really trying to lean into like, okay, well, we know our customers might have made a mistake. We know our customers might have returned a product or going to have returns. Fashion notoriously has a lot of high returns. So why not just lean into that and offer a really good customer experience? Found that really good. They are asking you to get text updates. I thought I opted in when I placed an order, but maybe I didn't. So I'm not sure if this is dynamic. And then this is a new trend. I'm seeing a lot of brands really try to get the referral right away on the thank you page. And then they are reinforcing that mission, more sustainable every day. Getting into the actual order confirmation. So again, they check the order, provide order status. So they're already sort of like troubleshooting that. Okay, like here's the status of your order. Again, reminding customers of the return policy. Again, like, did you make a mistake? Can you easily adjust this order? You can easily adjust this order. And again, reinforcing that mission. Also, like making it easy to contact support. And this triggers right away. This is, I think, through Shopify or maybe Klaviyo, their order notification emails. But they're just really, really hitting this return. Did you make a mistake? Easy to contact support. Moving into the ship, when my order is actually shipped, we'll get into that. And it's like, again, you can check the status of the order. You can easily start a return. There's an easy order reminder. Can go back and easily, they're reminding that return policy. Here is your customer service reminder. And then hey, refer a friend, earn $25. So it's sort of the same theme. And then this is getting into Narvar. So this is their order arrived email. And this drives a lot of traffic too. As you saw when I went through their website, their analysis, this is what I meant when I saw, they're getting, 2% referral, 2% of their traffic is coming from referrals, but 28% of that is coming from Narvar, which I think this was the only email, their shipping delivery email. And I think that they know, again, this is where I thought it was a masterclass in understanding the customer journey here, especially within the first couple weeks of becoming a customer, because they probably like get tickets all the time. Hey, my order is delivered, but I can't find it. And if you're a scale brand, you probably have seen this. Like maybe the delivery the delivery provider misplaced it, maybe someone stole it, and so they're just getting ahead of that. Hey, you can't find your order? Click on help. We'll help you find it, or let's talk through it. And again, it's just like it creates like a very good customer experience. It prevents that emotional ticket or emotional email like I can't find my order. This is a lie, that you might get from customers that might be really triggered. Doing a little bit of brand building here by adding the social media icons. Um, Pinterest is a big thing for them, so I can understand why they would show that. Um, Moving into the unboxing experience, so it's pretty simple unboxing. I thought a little bit more. It came in this sort of like sleeve. It is branded with Everlane. But once you open it up, there was really nothing. There was no like cross selling or brand building or direct inserts or anything like that. It was just literally the jeans that I ordered. And the most sort of marketing you saw was at the back, the label on the back of the jeans on the product. So pretty straightforward there. Here is the post-purchase flow. So I think I got this. I'm not sure how it was triggered. If it was triggered 7 days after my purchase or 5 days after my package arrived. But yeah, I mean, it's like really simple, but like you could tell they thought through it. So first off, like right after you purchase, you can opt in to SMS, and I click that in the checkout. And the first thing they do is they sort of welcome me to the community, and they remind me of their mission, which I thought was pretty cool. So this is like right after I ordered, and then you can click on this link, and this was to tell that they're using Attentive. Again, about 7 days after my purchase, I got this email. Subject, new things he'll love. And I think that what's going on here is they saw that I placed a product for men's items. So they are cross-selling me other men's items. And what I find really interesting is I think they even know their customer journey so well that there's probably a lot of women that are just buying clothing for their spouse or significant other. And so the subject, new favorites he will love. So it's like almost like they are talking to talking to a woman buying male products, which I found interesting. Or at least that's sort of the vibe I got from that subject line. But again, like leading with the best sellers, I think is really, really cool because that is typically probably like going to get the highest conversion rate because you're leading with the products that have been already shown to get the most amount of sales. Typically for them, a lot of it is their denim or their t-shirts. Moving down, they're using social proof. They're sort of showing, and I think this might be, I don't think any of this is dynamic. Maybe it is. But that would be cool if they're like sort of dynamically updating this based off the season, but it might just be like they're going in and statically putting in this sweater, and they're putting in like a review. But you can see like they're matching the review to the actual product, which I think also helps with conversion rate. And they're also finding other ways to nurture you, like through adding a collection item down here. It's like, hey, do you want to shop for new arrivals or shop women or shop further for men? Moving into their newsletters, you can go to mild.com/Everlane. Mild is a great site where you can see not every store, but a lot of these bigger stores' emails. And yeah, they send, they're pretty consistent, and they send multiple times a week. They'll send me on the weekends too. They'll send me back to back like that. Last week, I think I got one Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Most of the time they're sending it between 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern time. I'm not sure if they're doing that because that's like their optimal syn time, or they're doing that dynamically. But I'm based in U.S. Eastern time, so that's what I noticed. For me, it was heavily female skewed, so I'm not sure like how much segmentation they are doing there. Like if they noticed like I am buying that I bought men's, I think that they they probably just I mean, I think that they probably just have a lot of their revenue coming from women, and they might even know that a lot of their women's buyers that are shopping for spouses still want to buy women's clothing for themselves. But that's sort of my assumption. But um, yeah, I do think that they really do a good job, and it's similar to the email I just showed you. It's very clean sort of emails. Let's see if we can find it. Mill.com. Everlane. Yeah. So this was the one they sent yesterday about their flats. So very simple product. Um, just showing like it's like product, lifestyle photo, social proof, um, moving into like a more different product shot, social proof, social proof. Um, again, reinforcing that mission of like where it was sourced from, and you can read about it here. Let's see what shows up here. If they go to like an actual page that talks about that specific product. No, they just go to their like more generic um, page about brand sustainability and cleaner fashion. But yeah, I mean, so that's a little bit about their news system. But you can unpack this. You can see what they're doing in real time. You can go back and look at the archive of what they're doing. So really cool app. I use it all the time. But yeah, that basically concludes the funnel breakdown. Thanks again for watching. And again, wanted to thank Antonio who helped me break this down. And if you guys aren't following him on LinkedIn, go ahead and follow him. He does a lot of other brand breakdowns as well. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys on the next breakdown.